Hey everybody, welcome to our week 2 of February curriculum. This is our first video of the week for Monday, Tuesday classes. Got a couple things we'll be going over today, but before we get started, I want you to get yourself warmed up. So do some jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, front ups. That's where we get in a ready stance and swing that back leg up 10 times, and then switch your feet and do it with the other side. And then finish up with 30 seconds of mountain climbers, or holding a plank, or even jogging with high knees, something to get your heart pumping and ready to go. Have fun with that. All right, guys, first thing we're going to be going over today are outside crescent kicks. Last week we learned the inside crescent kick, and today's going to be the reciprocal of that, the outside crescent kick. All right, now remember, crescent is a half circle shape, so it means your foot is either going this way or this way, okay? Now, outside refers to two things. Now, it's the outside of your heel that's going to be making contact with the target, and also you finish your kick swinging to the outside, kind of away from your body, okay? So here's what an outside crescent kick looks like. And I'll switch my feet. All right? So notice my foot went in that up and over motion, only now instead of swinging to the inside and hitting with the inside of my heel, that was an inside. Now I need to kind of chamber by coming across in front of my body, okay? So I bring my leg across in front of my body, and then as I kick it out, I swing around to the outside, and then I can land right back in my ready stance. There's no needing to reset my feet to the starting position. So one more time, it's crossover and then kick around, okay? If you switch your feet and do it with the other side. Crossover, kick around, okay? One more time. Crossover, kick around, up and over to the outside, okay? Nice thing about this kick is you get to land right back in your ready stance, ready for the next kick. All right, so just like we did with the inside crescent kicks last week, I want you to find something that you can kick over, whether that's a person helping you by holding their hand out like this, right about at least level with your belt, or a little lower if you don't have the flexibility. All right, so hold their hand out, or it can be if you have a stick or a sword, something that's preferably soft, because the first couple of times you may accidentally hit it as you get used to the motion of going up and over, okay? But what I want you to do is have that thing sticking out, and I want you to kick up and over that item, making sure that you're doing outside crescent kick. All right, so if you have someone who's helping you, helper, I want you to make sure that they're kicking correctly, that they're going across to start and then swinging up and over to finish around in that ready stance. Different from that inside crescent kick where we came back around and land with our feet crossed, okay? So remember, it's outside crescent kick, and I want you to do 10 on each side, going up and over that item or whatever it is that's being held out for you to kick up and over. So 10 outside crescent kicks on each side. Ready, set, go. Okay, guys, we've got another ground technique that we're going to be learning today. This also comes from the BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where we get that break fall technique and the BJJ get up. Today, what we're learning is a technique called shrimping, okay? Now, this is a technique that's done from your back on the ground, okay? And this is intended to help you create distance if, say, you're on the ground, right? You're on the ground right here, and your opponent or attacker is maybe also down on the ground. Maybe they're on their knees between your legs, or maybe even over top of you if they're really big up on their knees and they're not even actually sitting on you, but they're just kind of straddling you, okay? So this move is to create distance between yourself and that person so that you have more room to be able to then do that BJJ get up. So here is what shrimping looks like, all right? I'll try to stay in the picture as best I can. The way shrimping works is you need to bring your feet in nice and close to your bottom, as close as you can get. Then you need to lift your bottom up off the floor, and you need to roll onto one shoulder. I've still got both feet firmly on the floor, but my bottom is off the ground, and now I'm on one shoulder. What I need to do now is I need to push my bottom back. Imagine that I'm pushing my bottom towards my head like this. And this is where it's a shrimp, because I'm kind of curled up. I could reach down and touch my toes if I wanted to, and then I straighten out, okay? So I'm going to show you that again, coming from the other direction, okay? So I get my feet in nice and close by my bottom. I lift up, I roll onto one shoulder, and push my bottom out, and then straighten out, okay? So coming from the other direction, I'll come backwards towards you so you can see that. Bring my feet in, push my bottom, come back, and push my bottom, and come back, all right? And then going away from you so you can see it from that angle as well. Lift up, push my bottom, and come back. Lift up, push, and straighten back up. So, that can be a little challenging if you've never done it before. And be patient with yourself if it feels kind of weird and you're just like, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't get it, okay? One thing that can kind of help you is if you have a partner stand right over you, okay? When you're on your back, if they stand with their feet right here on either side of your bottom, then your goal is to lift up and get your bottom out from between their feet, okay? If you don't have a person to help you do it, you can get a chair or a stool, something that you can fit under and lay under. I grabbed a chair right here so I can show you guys, okay? So you can get under the chair and go right up to where maybe just your bottom is under the chair. Okay, this chair's kind of small, so I can't bring my feet in all the way like I want to. Maybe I could go like this, right? But you want to lift up, scoot your bottom out from under that chair, okay? And you want to practice going both ways. Lift up and scooch out from under the chair. And that's the shrimping motion, right? Once you get really good at it, you do it really fast. You shrimp, shrimp, and then go for that BJJ get up as they're hopefully sitting there wondering what you're doing because it looks kind of funny. But it's really useful, especially if you get into practicing jiu-jitsu. It helps you move out from other positions, and it can work well for creating a little bit of distance for you. Or maybe you just need to create that distance so that you can get your feet up and then kick them off of you before you go for that BJJ get up. All right, so one more time. Either have a person standing right over you or have a chair or something lined up right about with where your bottom is. You can lift up, push through, and then boom, boom, boom. That's how you get away from them. And BJJ get up to get out of there. But you don't have to do all of that. Just practicing the shrimping. Have a little bit of fun with it and be patient with yourself. Ready, set? All right, guys, next thing we're going to go over today, just really quick reviewing the palm strikes. All right, so remember, when we're doing palm strikes, we don't want to slap. Say, do not slap. We end up slapping if we pull our hand back and go out and down like this, okay? So remember, a palm strike is straight out and back, straight out and back. You really want to not bring your hand back and go like that, right? Because then it's a slap and it's not a palm strike anymore because all your force is going down. But when you keep your hand up and you go straight out, that's what's going to give your palm strike more power, okay? Swinging your arms doesn't give your palm strikes more power. It actually takes away power and makes them slappy. And that just makes the bad guy mad, and then you have less of a chance of injuring him and getting away, right? So remember, you're in your ready stance, you've got your hand up, and you don't just reach your arm out by itself either. You got to put your whole body behind it. Let those hips twist as you reach out, and then twist with the other side. Notice I'm pushing off the back foot, but I'm not taking a step because that moves me in too close, right? So it's push off that back foot, keeping those toes planted on the floor. It's not flopping over or going like this, right? Pushing off and then come right back, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Do a fun little drill. If you can, if you have somebody with you with some punching mitts, what I want them to do is stand in front of you with the mitts together like this, okay? And then you're going to be in your ready stance, and you're going to be moving like this, like this. We call this a fight stance and quick feet, okay? And you're going to keep bouncing around. And then when your helper flashes the mitts out like this, that's when you go, no, and then you keep moving, keeping your hands up. And when they flash the mitts, you go, no, right? You stop bouncing as you go for those palm strikes, hitting across to the opposite hand, okay? And I want you to do that for at least 30 seconds straight, if not a minute. I want you to get yourself a little worn out and breathing hard, a little sweaty. Have fun with that. Bonus, if your partner wants to say sprawl or down, that means you have to drop down and do a burpee. Come back up, back in that ready stance. Ready for them to flash those mitts. No. And then back to moving, back to moving. All right, so have some fun with that. Practicing your palm strikes. Remember, no slapping. Straight out, okay? Have some fun with it. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, real quick, last thing we're going to go over today is a little bit from our sheet. Last week we talked about the Bible verse and what that means for you guys. So today we're going to start up at the top with the definition and then number 1 on the ways to show discipline. So we've got training of the body or mind according to rules or principles. That's the definition, right? So training of your mind or body. Training means, well, if you think about if you're training for a sport, right? If you're training for soccer, that means you're doing lots of running drills, you're practicing kicking the ball in different ways, you're practicing passing the ball to your teammates. Same thing if you're practicing basketball. If you're training for basketball, you're going to practice. You're practicing handling the ball, you're practicing running up and down the court, you're practicing passing and communicating with your teammates, right? Or if you're training in martial arts, you're coming to class and learning the new moves, and then you're going home and practicing at home. So training of the body or mind. That means you have to decide what it is that you're practicing, okay? You have to think about it. If we're practicing discipline, that means we got to decide what it is that we're trying to practice discipline by doing. Now it says according to rules or principles, okay? So let's say in your house there's a rule. The rule is you only get 1 hour of screen time per day, okay? So you have to practice that by training your mind and your body to following that rule, right? And that also can include help from people like parents and siblings. Your parents maybe set a timer for you so that you can know, oh, okay, it's been an hour, I'm done. But then it's also training your mind, your attitude to be okay with that and not get angry and throw a fit when that time is over, right? Maybe the rule at your house is that you have to try every piece of food at dinner time, right? Maybe you don't have to eat it all, but you got to at least try it, okay? And so you have to practice training your mind to have a good attitude about that, but then also training your body to chew the food and swallow it without gagging, right? And it takes practice. So discipline takes practicing the things that are important to you, right? That's what principles are, things that are important to you. If being strong and healthy is important to you, if that's a principle you want to live by, then you got to train your mind and body to eat well, eat healthy, and exercise and push yourself and work hard. Okay? Maybe a principle for your family is you guys believe that the Bible is really important. It's the most important thing we could be reading. And so you need to train your mind and body to spend some time reading your Bible every day, right? So rules and principles can be all different kinds of things. There's all different ways you can practice discipline. It's not just making mistakes and getting in trouble. It's deciding what's important to you, or maybe what needs to be done, and then training or practicing doing that. And the more you do it, you get used to it. You start to have a better attitude about it because you're practicing and you're thinking about it and you're remembering, okay, this is for my good. I need to have a good attitude about it. Okay? So that is training of the body or mind according to rules or principles. So let's get to number 1, behaving in a calm and controlled way. Okay, that really comes back to what we learned about last month with focus. You are responsible for what you do with your body, whether on purpose or accidentally. Okay, so you need to be aware. Pay attention to what you're doing with your body. And when it's a time when you should be focusing, right? Keeping your eyes on what's important, actively listening, focus your eyes, ears, mind, and body when you need to, eliminating distractions, okay? But that also means a calm and controlled way. That means thinking about your attitude. You're not going to flip out and get angry and start flailing around when you're not getting your way. It's okay. Like, it's okay to be disappointed or mad or upset, but it's not okay to start being disrespectful and saying bad or mean things or just yelling or flopping on the ground and throwing a fit. Right? We can be upset and be angry without making mistakes and doing bad things that then require your parents to discipline you and get you in trouble. Right? So just think before you speak or do something. That's really going to help you behave in a calm and controlled way. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. See you next time.